Hello there. Welcome to this episode of Her Associates with me, Amina Hashi. Now, today's episode is quite special as we're going to be focusing on the relation between the Republic of Somaliland and her good friend Taiwan. Now, the date today is July the 1st, 2021. It has been exactly a year since the signing of a strategic agreement, and both countries continue to be strategic partners and benefit immensely from one another. Now, in the studio today, joining me from Taipei is Ambassador Mohamed Hagi. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you very much for that. I'm happy to join with you.
It has been only a year and quite a few achievements have been made on both fronts. Ambassador, firstly, if you can give us more insight on the agreement that was signed and what it entails for both nations.
Thank you very much, Amina. I'm really delighted that you invite me here today. The agreement between Somaliland and Taiwan was a special and really official agreement between the two countries. It was a bilateral agreement, a bilateral cooperation between Taiwan and Somaliland on sides of economic and trade, technical assistance, and some other strategic agreement with Somaliland and Taiwan. So I think now for a year, of course it's now a year, and it really developed so much. We achieved so much together. Although the pandemic was quite a burden for us, for the agreement and for our cooperation, but so far so good. We achieved a lot.
Now, Ambassador, several agreements have been signed since that first strategic agreement, and most recently in December, both countries signed the Agricultural Development Agreement, which contributed to food security in Somaliland. How far has that project come?
Yeah, that was one of the agreements. We signed several agreements, including the improving production and quality of vegetable and fruit in Somaliland. The project aim is to increase the production and quality of vegetables and fruits in Somaliland. So in selected zones through establishment of demonstration farms and technical support, and to increase farmers' incomes by 20%. So it's about building this demonstration farm and increasing the production about 20% of Somaliland farmers. So that was the project, and it's still ongoing. It will be a 3 years project. So I think the Somaliland farmers will benefit, and the agriculture ministry will also benefit this project. Taiwan is highly advanced in technology in terms of agriculture. So it's an area in which Somaliland can really benefit a lot.
What has been the role of both governments in facilitating the development agenda, especially in the health industry?
For Somaliland development, that question is good to be asked by the Minister of Health in Somaliland. But as far as I'm concerned, on this kind, on my side, on my perspective, the Minister of Health is really doing well on its plans and strategic. Actually, it's a strategic plan and national health system. But what we are learning from Taiwan is one of the sectors that Taiwan government is also working with us is about the health industry and health system. So currently we're doing two different projects from Taiwan on health issues. One is about the maternal and infant healthcare improved project in Somaliland. And this project is about to upgrade the functions of healthcare facilities in Somaliland and also to provide essential medical equipment that Somaliland needs, because one of the things that we need in Somaliland it's not only about the expertise of health industry, but also about the medical equipment, which is very necessary for Somaliland's health system. And as well, it's to improve the quality of women and infant care in Somaliland. One of the major problems in Somaliland is about the women and infant health. So that is one thing that we also want to improve. That also project has been signed on the 1st of January 2021. It's about the maternal and infant healthcare improvement project. The Kaohsiung Hospital, it's one of the largest hospitals in Taiwan is also assisting and facilitating this project with the Hagi Group Hospital and other hospitals in Somaliland. So there is also another major medical cooperation agreement that the two countries have signed. I don't know whether you have seen that, but the two foreign ministers, Somaliland acting foreign minister and the foreign minister of Taiwan, Joseph Wu, was signed this agreement, on the 16th of June. That agreement was quite new. It is a major agreement. It's about modernizing. It's about the modernization and digitalization of Hargeisa Group Hospital. So this project will be a very major project. It's also Taiwan is also going to send a permanent medical mission in Somaliland who will improve the healthcare of Somaliland. So those are the two projects that we already signed with Taiwan, and one is ongoing and one will start. We're going to send the permanent medical team on August next month, probably by next month, and then we will try to improve the infrastructure, the health infrastructure of Hargeisa Group Hospital. At the same time, we want to modernize and digitalize the healthcare system in Somaliland. So those are the major projects signed by the two governments as well.
Now, Ambassador, you are our main spearhead in Taiwan. What are some of the projects that Somaliland is carrying out in Taiwan?
We are really doing lots of things here in Taiwan. Also, as I told you before, there was a pandemic that really we tried hard here to achieve a lot for 2021, but the problem was about the pandemic. So we have done around 60 to 70% of what we have planned last year. So one of the things that we do is to engage about the business communities in Taiwan. Taiwan is a highly advanced country in terms of industry and technology, and production-wise, manufacturing-wise. So we are going to engage the business communities in Taiwan, which is 90% of them are private, in the private sector. We are telling the success story of Somaliland, the political stability, democracy in Somaliland. So that they can invest in Somaliland, and they much were aware about the major infrastructure improvement in Berbera port expansion. So they are more aware about that. So we are engaging the business. We're also engaging other development programs about the how mining programs, mining projects. It's also about the oil projects and all these, fishing. So we're doing much here, and also the technical assistance, which I told you, which is about the ICT development. We also saw there is a agreement signed by the two governments of Somaliland and Taiwan recently. I was witnessed that in Somaliland. That was Somaliland e-government enhancement project. So this project aims to enhance the e-governance of the Somaliland government, including improving the efficiency of the intergovernmental data exchange by building data exchange platforms for Somaliland. It's also about establishing national ICT center as a hub for ICT capacity building and assisting to improve the management of government network in Somaliland. So these are the things that we are doing. So we're doing every sector and other sectors in which I don't really want to mention, but it's a different scale and different areas that we are engaging in Taiwan since we are here. We established our office on the 9th of September. I think it's still less than a year, but we have done and achieved a lot together in Taiwan so far.
As we know that there is never smooth sailing of any ship, and there must be challenges on both fronts. You spoke about the pandemic being a burden in terms of stopping many projects that were planned to be carried out. What are some of the mitigating factors both governments are taking in order to overcome the challenges faced?
Thank you, Amina. I just want to reiterate the pandemic that really halted and became a burden to our work here in Taiwan, and at the same time because there are lots of things that we planned and arranged so that it can be implemented very soon in Somaliland and Taiwan at the same time. And the pandemic really make these not to happen. So because of this official and friendly agreement between Somaliland and Taiwan, we don't have any problems on this agreement. We have a full understanding between the two countries, and we making our commitments from Somaliland side for whatever we promised. Because Somaliland is this kind of agreement is a mutual agreement between the two countries. We're providing something to them, they're providing something to us. So that is a mutual agreement and mutual understanding. So from our side, we have these kind of commitments. We are going to fulfill our commitment. Somaliland always fulfills its commitment. It's a reliable country. It's a credible country. So as Taiwan, they are really very committed on this agreement. So the only problem that we have now is the pandemic, which is an international phenomena. But anything else, it's absolutely fine. I'm really happy with this agreement and the cooperation in Taiwan and Somaliland at the same time.
In a big win for our country's youth, today the government of Taiwan awarded not one but 20 scholarships to Somaliland's top students. Ambassador, is this a perk that the younger generation can look forward to in the future?
Of course, the young generation is the agent of change. That's what I called always the agent of change of Somaliland. And what we know from the statistics is that Somaliland, 70% of the people of Somaliland are youth. So they can really benefit this kind of a scholarship. We know that Taiwan's universities are high-class universities, so introducing export-driven industrial development by establishing an export processing zone in Perpra also will be something else. But in order to get that, we need to learn the ICT industry from Taiwan. So this is one of why this kind of a scholarship is so important. So I think the youth of Somaliland will really benefit this agreement. We want Somaliland to be the Taiwan in Africa, developing computer center. That's what we need to develop and establish a computer center, a high-tech industry. Despite Taiwanese continued dominance in chip manufacturing, and the information communication technology sector, we need to benefit this. So our youth will have the chance to learn from Taiwan's ICT, Taiwan's agriculture, Taiwan's engineering, Taiwan's ICT, and many other courses here in Taiwan. So I think 20 students will be already awarded for this scholarship, and they will benefit really a lot. They have their embassy, the representative office here in Taiwan. We will welcome them. We will help them to achieve their goals. Most of them are masters. All of them, I think, are masters and PhD degrees. So they will benefit this kind of award and scholarship. So that's what we are expecting expecting from our side to really benefit this kind of thing. So I'm really glad that this award, it was a commitment that Taiwan committed on last year, and it's being fulfilled now. So that is absolutely an encouraging thing. And I know that young Somaliland who are very talented people will really benefit this scholarship.
Ambassador, if you may give us some ways in which the relationship has influenced or will influence Somaliland's economy in the long run.
I think it's economic development. When we're talking about the economic development, it's about a long-term, unfinished kind of a program. So what we need to benefit from Taiwan is that because Taiwan is the 20th richest country in the world. It's one of the top advanced technologies high-tech countries in the world. They have the high-tech industries here. They have the networking system of shipping companies. Big shipping companies are here. There are manufacturing companies here. Somaliland is very potential for its natural resources. So we have the natural resources in Somaliland. We are located very strategic location in the Horn of Africa that connects to Europe and at the same time to Middle East countries who are the oil producing countries as well. They are also a very beneficial countries in terms of economic development. So we have these, and Taiwan have the know-how, we have the resources. So in the short term, in the medium term, we are going to benefit. I told you that the only problem that we had now is that the pandemic, because I was planning that business communities from Taiwan to visit Somaliland, so they can't really visit Somaliland to do their feasibility studies, what they can do in Somaliland, how they can invest Somaliland, because business-wise, business people, they want to invest. Whenever they want to invest, they have to do their own feasibility study. So in order to do that, they have to travel to Somaliland and do the work. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, they cannot really travel to Somaliland until the pandemic eased off. At the same time, there are business communities in Somaliland who want to travel to Taiwan to see how Taiwan, the commodities and goods to Taiwan, so that they can import and re-export that products to other countries in Africa. And we know that Somaliland also is, I told you that Somaliland is very strategic. And you know that 16 landlocked countries, Africa has 16 landlocked countries. So, and Somaliland is very strategic. So both Taiwan and Somaliland can really benefit the strategic location of Somaliland, and also Taiwan is a manufacturing industry. So this is what we are planning in terms of the economic development. We need an economic transformation for Somaliland. So we're ready for that. We have the facilities, we have the political stability, we have the democracy, we have the free market system working and functioning in Somaliland. 95% of the wealth of Somaliland and the economy of Somaliland lies with the private sector. We know that. Only 5% is about the government. So we are very much open economy that can make this kind of a trade. We are ready for globalization. We're ready for a free trade system, and we're really benefiting when this pandemic eases. But we have so many plans for now to do this work, and it's ongoing work. We will achieve that.
What lessons have we learned from the Somaliland-Taiwanese cooperation, a cooperation that, if I may add, has been highly successful? So what lessons do you think we have learned that we can apply in order to develop cooperation between Somaliland and other countries, like Kenya, for example?
Mm-hmm. I think we have already some kind of engagement, business engagement with other countries, particularly our neighbors like Ethiopia, Djibouti, and now in Kenya, which is Kenya is a very, very important country because Kenya's market is a free market economy. So I think Kenya is so important also for Somaliland, and I'm very glad for Somaliland government and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs doing this job, which was really, really a great job for engaging the Kenyan government. And the latest development for the two presidents, meeting was very successful, and I hope that it will improve a lot in the future. So to come back to the question is that what we learn from Taiwan in order to engage with other countries in the world is that Taiwan has many friends in the world, particularly the Western world, Western democratic world. And what we can learn from Taiwan is Somaliland always tries to engage other countries more. It's more about political, trying to get its recognition, trying to engage other countries to recognize, to understand the case of Somaliland, which is humanitarian wise and legal wise and political wise and historical wise. That Somaliland is an independent nation state that deserves to be recognized. But we can also learn from Taiwan that how are we going to engage other countries in a non-political way, like economic, kind of engagement? How Somaliland is going to build this framework to engage the international community, not politically but economically, because economically is, in any matter, in any way, you see that the United Arab Emirates are now the major investor in Somaliland. How can other countries, giant countries like the United States, like the United Kingdom, and the European countries and other Arab countries who have high wealth to invest and come to Somaliland to do these kind of concessions, like Berber port and expansion on all this. So that is what we're really learning. Here in Taiwan, every country is here, including China. So they are engaging with the world. They are doing business with the world, despite the political status. So that is exactly what we also, for the last 3 years, we are working also on this, to engage the world despite political, search, and try to understand the world that we locate a very strategic location. We have these natural resources with peace and stability politically, so that it can be, we are very attractive country, so to attract the business communities and business investment in the world. So that's what Somaliland is doing, and this major project, Berbera major project, will help the world to understand that lots of millions and hundreds of millions and millions of dollars to be invested in Somaliland. So that is what we're working on, and I think it will help in the future. And it's a very great step. So we're learning, we're still learning, we're doing our best. We are best of the Africans. That's what I believe. Somaliland is the best of Africans. A country which is not recognized by the world for the last 30 years, do its own business, make the reconciliation, do its political stability, social contract, economic development, democratization, not imposed by any other country, but it's a homegrown democracy, homegrown economic development, homegrown peace in the political system and governance. That's what we're doing. That's what the world sees. And our last elections really show the world how competent we are, how stable we are as a country. So that might attract. What we do inside is also helping to convince and convince others to understand the benefits of Somaliland. And hopefully you will see in 5 years' time that Somaliland is really very developing, doing business with other countries. And we know that the recognition is not also far away from us. It's very close to us. So I'm also suggesting and trying to say to my people, Somaliland, that we really achieve a lot together, and we will achieve a lot together. Together, we're stronger. Let's work together, and I'm really delightful for my people and my country as Somaliland that we really achieve a lot that other recognized African countries or other countries in the world not yet achieved, unfortunately. So that is what the world will recognize, and recognition and development is not far away from Somaliland. We are very close to it.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for now. But as we're winding up, Ambassador, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strategic has our partnership with Taiwan been? And of course, is there room for improvement?
I'm quite delighted and really happy about the Taiwan-Somaliland engagement, Taiwan-Somaliland partnership so far. We're really doing great here. They are really doing great there in Somaliland. So I think, of course, everything needs improvement. We will improve when the pandemic is off. We'll do lots of things from each other. And we are learning from each other. We are supporting from each other, and we really want to do better together. So what we will improve is about we will do more about economic engagement very soon with Taiwan, and probably you will see what will happen. So I don't want to really, reveal or just shed light on what is going to happen very soon, but good things will happen very soon between Somaliland and Taiwan, and that's more about economic development and economic transformation and bilateral, which is based on bilateral agreement between Taiwan and Somaliland, and hopefully from our side we'll really benefit for that. And from the other side, Taiwan also, and its people and its business communities, and they will really benefit for this good friendship with Somaliland. It's like-minded countries. Both countries are democratic countries. I mean, they are free. They have a free market economy system, and for this case, we are very close and we are like-minded. So we will work together. And of course, improvement will be on the way at all times. We will try to push hard and achieve more day by day and year by year. And that's what we're doing here.
Thank you for your time, Ambassador, and for joining us. Again, congratulations on a successful year and wishing you all the best.
Appreciate that I joined your program. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That has been Ambassador Mohamed Hagi from Taipei, Somaliland's representative in Taiwan. It's been a very successful year. There's some problems that the ambassador has highlighted, especially the pandemic being one of them, in stopping the timeline for projects being carried out. But we can expect great things from both countries, as the ambassador has stated. I'm Amina Hashi. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.